Hey everybody, how you doing? Dash and Dave here again. Alright, happy Memorial Day. Thank you to all you guys and gals that have served in the past, the present, and the future. I'd never served, but my dad was in the Marine Corps for 22 years, started out in the crash crew. I was born in North Carolina at Cherry Point. That was a Marine Air Base out there, still is, in North Carolina. We had some spectacular 4th of Julys. They blew up planes and put the fires out and everything. Anyway, okay, so it's 8:25 over here in Ames, sitting at Cabin Coffee. I was feeling a little antsy, didn't have any videos to edit or anything, and decided to come on over. We'll kind of recap this as part number 3, if you will, of my previous 2 videos about changing up my strategy last week, where I was going in at 10 a.m. My start time at 10 a.m. The first couple days were absolutely spectacular going in that late because, as I mentioned before, early in the mornings I was around $1 per mile in my metric, and then as the day progressed and the orders got better, that average came up to, you know, close to $2 per mile. And so I thought, let's start a little later, keep the mileage down on Speedwagon, and keep the ratios up. And they were, I mean, spectacular days. And Uber Eats, I have noticed in my area, has picked up just a little bit. And I think that maybe some of the college kids were running Uber Eats more out in the campus town area versus Doordash. And so Uber Eats, now I will say this, one day I had like 1 job on Uber Eats. It was just dead. So, you know, it comes and it goes, both of them, DoorDash and Uber Eats. So I had a couple pretty good days. Wednesday, Thursday were some just kind of really weird days. I think Wednesday was just a mess. Psychologically, mentally, financially. My very first job, I forgot to grab the second bag at the Chick-fil-A. They have the shelves there, they're cubbies, and mine was on the bottom one on the floor, a drink in a huge bag. I grabbed those, put them in my bag, and walked out. There was another one back that I didn't lean under and take a look at. So it was just a mess. It was just a mess. So I think it was Wednesday and Thursday I cut out around 2 o'clock. My spidey senses said we're going to hit a dead zone, and I just called it. Friday, Carly and I, we quit about 2 o'clock and had Mexican for lunch. He and his wife, Miranda, have now left, and they are now in Arizona this Monday. That was their plan. They were going to move to Arizona. And so my buddy's gone. So maybe some better juice will come my way without him being there taking up some of it, because, you know, he was pretty much a full-timer too. But he would run some evening hours also. But anyway. Okay, so then yesterday, Sunday, decided to come over in the morning. I'm not sure, it was a beautiful day, and I just thought, let's go over and check it out. I hadn't done some Sundays for quite a while, and traditionally I found Sundays were not that spectacular. Yesterday, banging day, $28 an hour. Uber Eats led DoorDash yesterday. It was just spectacular. I think I did 80 on Uber Eats and 50 on DoorDash. There was an hour there where I was just doing Uber Eats. 1, 2, 3. They were stacking them on me, and then, you know, I was in an area and got another one, and so on and so forth. Just a banging day. So now that the college kids are gone, and it's summertime, maybe, and I'm going to schedule hours for next Sunday in the morning, you know, 4 or 5 hours, and check out Sundays. I'm not doing anything on a Sunday morning anyway. Might as well make a little bit of money. Okay, so this all ties into what have you learned? Okay, so I'm breaking my new rule where I'm coming over at 10. It's 8:30. Thought I'd come over because I wasn't doing anything anyway. Sitting here at Cabin Coffee, like I said, hoping for a juicy one there. So, what have I learned? The 10 o'clock start time seemed to work pretty good, and going into the dinner hour the couple of days that I did that. Something to remember is 2022 here, the summer of 2022, this is all a brand new game. Pedro's mentioned it. Mr. Moore over at Moore Financial has mentioned it. We'll take a look at this Perkins here real quick. I'm too far away to begin with. I'm out here on the edge of town. You know, a couple of these other guys have mentioned it. Mr. Moore specifically was saying that he went out one time last week on a shift that traditionally is a horrible shift, and it was a banging shift. Then he went out on a weekend shift, which is traditionally a great shift, and it was a horrible shift. You know, I'm mixing things up and trying to experiment and everything, and everybody needs to do that because this is a whole brand new ballgame. Remember, 3 years ago, as these delivery gig apps were finding their footing in their customer base and how they were doing everything, then COVID hit for 2 years. Okay, these last 2 years, you can just throw all that out the window. That was such an abnormal set of circumstances that everything that you learned during that 2-year period means absolutely nothing now, especially given the current gas prices versus the gas prices before COVID and during COVID. Brand new ballgame. I had mentioned before that, you know, Doordash was throwing on $2.50 and $3.50 peak pay in the morning hours in my market. I also mentioned that seemed to draw a lot of people out, and it really wasn't that good of a day even with $3.50 peak pay for 4 or 5 hours. I've also mentioned before, you know, in my quick tip, the low tippers and no tippers, they buy every day. The good tippers buy it according to their economics, you know, whether or not they have money or not. Back to the peak pay, I think DoorDash missed the algorithm. They were worried that there weren't going to be enough dashers out there to take care of the business, and that might be true. So they put out this peak pay. We had too many dashers out there, and we were just carving up little pieces of the pie. Since then, no peak pay, with the exception of the midnight hours, which is traditionally where the peak pay is, from midnight to 3 o'clock in the morning in my market. Even that's dropped off a little bit because remember, we lost a lot of our customer base and the kids leaving. You know, school's not in session. You know, summer school has started. I believe orientation was a week or so ago. So anyway, it's a brand new market, a brand new game for everybody, including Uber Eats, Grubhub, and DoorDash, the mechanics of everything, and us guys and gals that are out there doing this job. It's brand new. You got to get out there, find what works, relearn your market, and then work your market. There's going to be some growing pains. You're going to miss it at times. And for a while, at least in my market here, from what I've seen already, there's not a whole lot of information to gather because every damn day is different. Now, this is Memorial Day weekend, so in a couple days we will hit the first when some paychecks roll in. You know, and we've talked about that before, the monthly paycheck people and then the bi-weekly paycheck people, the 15th and the 30th, and so on and so forth. So it's something that, you know, for me, like I said before, I love this, trying to figure this out. When it's happy, it's really happy, and when it's bad, it's really sad, you know, and you think to yourself, am I doing something wrong? And one more time, remember, so much of what we do, no matter your best strategy and your best practices, means absolutely nothing if there's not a customer out there ordering up food for delivery. And brand new market, brand new whole set of circumstances with everything involved. You know, maintain your overall strategy, which is your miles per metric and what you're going to take and what you're not going to take. And by the way, just a quick note on that. On Monday and Tuesday, I was taking orders that I normally would not have taken, even though they met my metric. I very rarely prior had ever taken any 475 orders. But, you know, when it's a pickup at Panera and then drive around 2 or 3 blocks, when it's slow, and it is slow, I did quite a few of those. I think that one day there, Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember what it was, had 26 jobs. A lot of those were stacks and doubles, you know, so those can add up real quick. By the way, I'm at 203 or so deliveries on Uber Eats. Broke the 200 mark there. McDonald's 7 miles away, $4, decline. Now, why am I getting the McDonald's offer out here in East Ames and they're all the way out in West Ames, 7 miles away? Because there's nobody out there. There's 2 hot spots. McDonald's, well, I guess there's a couple hot spots, but anyway. Okay, so again, brand new ball game. You need to relearn everything. Stick with your same metrics. Back to that 475 thing. I might play with that a little bit today, because when it's slow, you know, 475 for 0.8 miles, which I usually wouldn't take because I'm waiting for a 675 or 775. Boy, I tell you what, those added up pretty damn quick when you got down to doing 2 or 3 of them an hour, along with, you know, a 6 or 7 that gets blasted in there, or $11 on Uber Eats. So anyway, learn your market, know your market, and work your market. You got to do that every day. Change it up, you know, roll with the punches, and let Tony lead you to the money. Haven't had one of these in quite a while. $161 order tropical smoothie on Memorial Day. So the girls at Tropical Smoothie get to put together a whole bunch of flatbreads and wraps. All right, I knew the general area that I was going, and now that I looked at the address, I now know where I'm going 100%. It's a healthcare center at a retirement community. And I've been there before, and the last time I did a cater to them, can't tell you if it was Tropical Smoothie or not, could have been. It was a pretty good payout, corporate deal. So let's keep our fingers crossed that this is gonna rock my world here today. It's hot and sticky. I'll tell you what, what's Speedwagon say? 88 degrees at 101. There's the Terminator car. I talked to that guy. I said TJ Hooker when he asked me, what do you think this is from? And he goes, that's a good one. I never thought about that. Well, thank you very much, Tony. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, been a good day. It's right about 3:15 in the afternoon. I'm calling it quits. A lot better day than I thought it would be, being a holiday. Total take for the day, $161.64. Come out to $1.86 per mile and $24.87 per hour. Of course, that tropical smoothie cater out to the retirement community healthcare center, that put me over. That helped a lot. Wow, the wind is really picking up, and we're supposed to have 45, 50 mile an hour winds. No real severe weather, but you never know. So my first Memorial Day out here, spectacular, really. I should probably stick around for another few hours, but I'm done. It was a good day. Gonna go home and just relax. It is Monday. I'm gonna have to remember that. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Get up and go to work and all that good stuff. But anyway, been a really good day. I talked to the owner-operator of the Little Caesars pizza place, and I said, man, it's just busier than I thought it would be. And he goes, we're just smoking right now. And I said, speaking of smoking, you know, how come people aren't out here grilling and all? He goes, everything's changed. It's just a different set of circumstances. Plus, with this wind, depending on where you're at, you might not be able to get that barbecue lit. Alright guys and gals, that's all I've got for you today. Hopefully you can take something from this video and put it to use for yourself. Thanks for coming along for the ride, and hope to see you next time.